What's up, guys? Hey, thank you so much for tuning into my 14th episode of Project Renaissance Man. And thank you, fifth subscriber. I did take notice. Much appreciated. So, I think my last vlog was on not allowing guilt to hold us back. And in tradition of that, I'd like to talk about something else that can hinder us. And this thing is feeling the need to make other people happy. So I bring this up because it's been on my mind lately, and I think it's extremely important. It's another thing that we can become shackled to. The same way we can be shackled to guilt, we can be shackled to feeling like we need to make people happy. To keep relationships going smoothly, even though we may not be satisfied with that. So we're, in essence, big time, surrendering our own happiness so that other people can be happy. And, it's really not worth it. For one, it's going to be draining because it's easy, especially if you're a kind-hearted, empathetic person, to get wrapped up in this tendency of continually, it becomes a practice, bad practice, a practice that is going to affect you in a way that's going to drain you of your energy, make you unhappy, make you even bitter. Yeah, and you need to realize you weren't put here on this earth to make people happy. You're going to do things that are going to piss people off. It's just going to happen. So let it go. And also, I'm not saying, like, you still want to be the best person you can be as far as courtesy goes, and kindness and compassion and just being considerate. But there's a line. There's a line between holding the door for somebody, saying hello to somebody, smiling at somebody, and going out of your way to try to make somebody laugh or smile or feel better. You can console as well, but when you console, be straight. Be real about it. You want to be genuine. You want to be fair to that person. You want to be fair to yourself. So, but yeah, I say this because, at one point in my life, years ago, I was that guy that always wanted to try to make people happy. Always wanted to make sure nobody was sad. And I think what happens is, especially with empaths, is we feel on a level that's much deeper than most people do. So, because of that, we feel that if there are things that are unsettled, if there are things that are bothering somebody else, until they are resolved, we are hung up on those things indefinitely. And so if you're an empath out there, this especially pertains to you. You need to realize, for one, a lot of things that people are unhappy over, they're not that big of a deal. We're very spoiled, and there are people that have deep-seated issues. Okay, I understand that. Try to be the best person you can to that person, but don't surrender your own happiness. To make that person, to try to resolve that person's issues. You can do the best you can, and that's it, without going too far out into the water. Unless you truly care about that person, and even then, you still got to be careful, because if you lose, yourself in that area where you just start to fall apart because you're taking on too much, it's only going to be harmful to you. And if you allow yourself to become destroyed, you can't be any use to anybody else. You can't help anybody else. But you definitely, and take it a step further, not only should you not, feel like it's your purpose to be here to make everybody else happy, but you also shouldn't be afraid to rub people the wrong way if you believe deeply enough about the subject and you feel that there is a moral association to that subject. So, for example, if you are very much so against something you feel is wrong in the world, but somebody else acts like it's not a big deal, and so you may say something that may piss them off because they act like you're not part of the majority that supports this. you don't have to honor that. You don't have to respect that. You need to uphold what you truly believe. And if you make them feel a little uncomfortable in the process, well, then that's just the way it is, because you realize the weight that what you believe in has versus, the weight that their issue with it is. So even then, in a lot of cases, the whole point is when you believe strongly enough in something, you stand behind it 100%. And, you got to be willing to, in some cases, even fight for that. Because you believe so deeply in it. All right. So, but it's today's whole, subject is not realizing you're not here to make other people happy. It's not your job. It's not your duty. It's going to shred you to pieces. There have been cases where I was in relationships, with women or close friends, and I felt like, I always wanted to make sure they were happy. And I think just out of caring for people, it's easy to get swallowed up and into and start to make that a tendency, where you're always trying to make sure they're okay. But they got to realize, you're human too. You have your own needs. You have your own feelings. And, if you would just run yourself into depletion, you deplete yourself. You totally exhaust who you are. Your energy, your focus, all of that would be drained from you. So, you got to stay happy, man. Just do the best you can. Still be as good of a person as you can be. Treat people right, and hope that as a byproduct of your decency, people will become happier. Because I've seen people, you hold the door for them and they're miserable looking. You say hi to somebody, miserable. Smile at somebody, miserable. It's not your fucking job. There's only so much you can do, So do the best you can, and hopefully people receive that well, and they smile back, or they say hi back, or they are appreciative of you holding the door. Of course, you're not doing it for those things. You're just trying to cause a ripple. You're trying to set an example so that we can make the rest of this world that way, where people actually care about each other and show respect and decency and kindness. So that's what I got for you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Again, thank you, 5th subscriber. So dope you decided to join us. And if you guys have liked this video and feel it has benefited you, please be sure to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. And I will see you all on Saturday. Peace.